In the continuation of subgroup, today we will discuss on complexes and their properties. First, we will understand what is the complexes. If G be a set group and we are taking, let us suppose this part having four elements, and as you know that 1 comma iota, this is 1 iota minus iota, this form a multiplicative group. And if you are taking some parts from this, it means suppose you are taking these two elements, it means 1 comma iota, then this part is the subset of G. You know that this is the subset of G. So any subset of a G which is satisfying only the closure property, if it is satisfying only the closure property, then this part is known as complexes. Here G be a group, it means this G will satisfy four properties. First is closure, second is identity, third is inverse, and fourth is associativity. But if you are taking any part from this group, it means you are taking some elements from this group G, and you want to observe the properties on these elements, and these elements are satisfying only the closure property, it means they will not satisfy next or remaining properties, so it will known as a complexes. Now there is a theorem related to complexes. It means H and K are two complexes of a group Z, then the inverse of their product will be equal to the product of their inverses in reversal order. It means if you are writing here HK in first, then in this case HK will be appeared in last. First you will see how to write the product of two complexes. Let us suppose this is H, and this H is having two elements X and Y, and there is two another complexes which is having elements Z and T. Then you will write the all possible combinations of their product. It means I can write here XZ, I can write XT, I can write YZ, and I can write Y and T. So these are the four elements which will be appeared in their product. So this new set will represent to HK. It means product of these two complexes HK. This is HK. Here you cannot change the order of the product here. If you want to write here X, I think this is T. If you want to write it XT, then you cannot consider it as a TX, because TX will be appeared in KH, not in HK. So I hope you have understood how to find the product of two complexes. It means you will write the all possible combinations of their element, or the products of their elements. Let us suppose HK inverse exists. It means you have first to find the product of two complexes H and K, and after that you have written there the inverse of each element in these complexes. If there is any element in this X, so what will be the behavior of this element X? It means the behavior of this element will be as usual the behavior of HK inverse. It means the X will be, because the all elements of HK are the composition of the elements of H and elements of K. It means these are the products of the elements of H and elements of K. So this X will be the product of the elements of H and K. It means it is generated by the product of two elements. The first is taken from H and second is taken from K. And after that we will write the inverse. So here the HK, and the nature of HK will be, it is the product of two. It means the first element H and the second element is K. The first element is taken from the first complexes and the second element is taken from the second complexes. And after writing the product of these two elements, you will write its inverse. So it is the behavior of X. It is the nature of X. Sorry, not behavior. It is the nature of X. It means X will be generated by this pattern. Again, we know that if we have two elements H and K inverse, and you want to write the product of the the inverse of these elements individually, then you have written it as K inverse. It is small k inverse and small h inverse. This theorem we have studied in group, and in the group we know that the inverse of the product of two elements is equal to the product of their inverses in reversal order. This is the theorem from group, because these H and K, these are two elements which are taken from H and K, and H and K contains the element of G, and G is a group. It means the individually the elements H and K will satisfy the indivisible property of G. It means indivisible property means how to the behavior of the element, the behavior of the inverse of an element of G will be similar to the behavior of the inverse of an element of K, because the K contains the elements of Z. Which property on G is applying on the elements, the same property will be applying on the elements of K. So here we can write here the reversal law. If you look it carefully, that the first element is K, which is taken from the first complexes, and the second element is H inverse. It means it is taken from the second complexes, inverse of second complexes, and the first is the taken from the inverse of first complexes. So we can say that here X inverse belongs to K inverse H. Now we will use the very popular result to set theory. It means if I'm writing this, X belongs to this matrix or this set, not matrix, sorry, this is set. Here X is belonging to HK inverse, and again I am showing that the each element which is belonging here is belonging to another set, K inverse H inverse. It means the all elements of this is belonging to this. It means the first is the subset of second. It may be proper or improper subset. Here we have shown that the each element of the HK inverse is belonging to K inverse H inverse. Again we will take the next element in reverse order. You are taking another element K in K inverse H inverse. Now because it is belonging to K inverse H inverse, where K is the inverse of first complexes, it is capital K and it is capital H. So what will be the nature of this Y? This Y will be obtained or generated by the product of two elements, and the first elements will be taken from the inverse of complexity K, and the second element is taken from the inverse of complexity H. So the inverse, the element which is belonging to K inverse will be written as in this pattern. Here this is small k and this is small h. It means it is the inverse of an element which is taken from H inverse. Now we know that the reversal property, reversal law of the inverse of the product of two elements. Again we are taking the same property which I have discussed on previous slide. It means HK inverse. Now it means Y, which was considered as the form of K inverse H inverse, which is equal to the form of HK inverse. It means, now what is this HK inverse? HK means the first element is belonging to H and the second element is belonging to K. It means this is belonging to the HK, and as we have the inverse on this element, so it will belong to the inverse of the product, inverse of the complexity of the product of these two complexity H and K. So we have assumed that Y is belonging to K inverse H inverse, and after that we are showing that this Y is belonging to HK inverse. It means that each element of K inverse H inverse is belonging to HK inverse. So this K inverse H inverse is the subset of HK inverse. So here, by first equation we are saying that the HK inverse is the subset of K inverse H inverse. Now by equation second we are saying it's in reverse. It means we are saying that K inverse H inverse is the subset of HK inverse. Both cannot be true simultaneously. It can be true only in the condition that HK inverse and K inverse, these are equal. Such type of problems we have solved in the set theory in our 12th class or in the class of discrete mathematics. Now we will take one more theorem. Here it is stated that if H is any subgroup of Z, now it is subgroup, it means the H will satisfying here the all four properties which are satisfying by Z, then H inverse will be equal to H. It means this H inverse and H both will be equal. So now we will prove it in same manner. Now let us suppose we have the element H inverse which is belonging to H inverse. As H inverse, H is a subgroup, so it will hold the inverse property. It means if H inverse is holding here, then inverse of H inverse, which is again equal to H, as we have proved it in our previous lecture. It is again equal to H. It means if H inverse is belonging to H inverse, so the H will also belongs to H inverse. Here H is a subgroup, so H inverse will also belongs to H. Please listen it again. First we are writing it. Let us H inverse is belong to H inverse. This is the property of complexity. I am writing it here. Again, H is also a subset. It means H is again also a subgroup. It means every element of this subgroup will contain its inverse. So if H is belong to H is belonging to H, then its inverse will be also belonging to H. So by these two properties, we can say that any element which is available in H inverse, that element is also available in H. It means every element of H inverse is the member of H. Hence H inverse is the subset of H. In our next slide, we will write this equation first and this equation in last. We will write it in our reverse order so that we can prove that H inverse is equal to H. Yes, here we have written H inverse in H first and H inverse in last. We are writing these two equations in their reverse order. It means which is written in first. Now we are writing it in last, and which was written in last we are writing here in first. So by these two conditions, we can say that any element which is available in H, that element is also available in H inverse. It means every element of H is belonging to H inverse. So we can say that H is the subset of H inverse. But our equation second, this let us suppose this is equation 4, then our equation second we are saying that H inverse is the subset of H, which is not possible. This is only possible if these are equal. It means all element of H are available in H inverse and all element of H inverse are available in H. So that we can say that H and H inverse, these are equal. These are two theorems related to the complexity of group. Now there is one next topic is cosets. This is a very useful and important topic of group theory. First we will understand what is a coset. Let G as a group and H is a subgroup of G. It means we are taking two sets. The first is set G. It is having some elements. Again G, H is the subset of this G, so it will have some elements taken from G. Some elements will appear here. These are two. Now these are two sets. Let us suppose H is belonging to H. It means you are taking any element from this H and you are taking any element A from Z, and you want to write their product. It means if you are write the HA, it means you are multiplying H into A, then this new set in which we are writing the product of these two sets in this order, that the element of subset H are writing in first, and the element of Z are written here in second, and the second element is fixed. Here this element can be changed, but this element is fixed. So this HA or remaining another elements will create a set, and this set will be known as a coset. Here the element of group Z is appearing in right side, so it will known as a right coset. It means the coset is the product of some elements of H with a element of G. If you are writing HA, then it is the left coset and right coset, and if you are writing it as AH, then it is the left coset. I hope you have understood the definition of cosets. Cosets means a set which is having the product of two two sets in which the element which is the element of first set will be known as the element of subgroup, while the second element will be known as the element of group, and this composition will create a coset. Some problems and theorems related to cosets will be discussed in our next lecture. In case of any difficulty, please contact me. Thank you so much.